guys ready for another Nintendo Prime stream? We've got some more rumors and leaks for you. Oh, it's just like a dream. It's like we went back in time, back when things were just E3. But instead, here we are towards the end of July. Don't ask why. Let's just get the show started. Oh, how is it going, everyone? How are you doing today? I hope you're having an awesome time. Having some weird issues with my Wi-Fi for some reason. Thankfully, the stream itself is working just fine because the stream itself is running through a wired connection. But like the Wi-Fi on my laptop, even on this computer that runs this thing, for some reason, it's super slow. I don't really know what's going on. I'm probably going to need to reboot my router or something. I'm sure there's some interference, or one of my devices, maybe a smart TV somewhere, is just going on the fritz and sucking up some juice. So I'll have to look into that a bit later. But when I'm wired in, everything seems to be working just fine, getting my full speed. So it is what it is. How you guys doing? And hey, that Nintendo Prime guy is back. That bastard. What a bastard. God, who let him in here? Huh? Who let him in here? In fact, we're going to crack a little Red's apple here. So, yeah, for starters, before I get into anything else, you guys know I'm going to say hi to all you guys and shout all you guys out, and we'll get into some cool rumors and all that jazz tonight, which obviously take with a massive grain of salt. I got to say a couple things before we go. A couple things. Bucks in 6, baby! We're the champions of the world. 50 years since before I was born, since the Milwaukee Bucks won the NBA championship. So of course I'm rocking my Milwaukee Bucks here. I don't have the finals championship gear yet. I did order it. It's probably going to arrive next week when I'm not even here. Hope the package doesn't get stolen. Is what it is. I am so happy about it. Giannis Antetokounmpo with the 50-point closeout. Not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about the finals, but obviously that's why I'm wearing Milwaukee Bucks gear today, because, oh baby, he might never happen again in my life. So, yeah, that's also why we're going to end up drinking tonight. So, all super chats and donations under $10 will lead to me doing just shots of beer. We got some Red's Hard Apple and some Miller Lite over here. If anything that's $10 and up, we'll bust out the UV Cherry. And if for some reason someone wants to get crazy and do a $20 super chat today, we got some Goldschlager here for anything $20 and up. And if we somehow hit $100 total in super chats, which I never plan for it to happen, but if we do, we got the old tequila. Tequila's at my kryptonite, so we kind of save that for those upper echelon shots. All right, let's get into just saying hi to everyone. So let me down this quick. Woo boy, I was watching that parade for a little bit today in Milwaukee. My God, so much hype. I wish I would have been there, but you know, I got kids, I got a life. I can't just up and leave because the Bucks are in the championship. I wish they would have won the championship back in my before kid days, but you know, it is what it is. Yeah, all right. Let me start shouting out everyone who's here. Starting at the top, we got Crazes Cough, one of our members of the board of directors is here. Welcome, my man. Bamboo Baby is here. Tyler Wrights is here. Rita Callisto, Nintendo Lover Girl. Corey Bohm, one of our mods and members. Welcome, man. Crazes Cough, another member of the board. We got Nintendo Unite. Tony0096, another member of the board of directors of Nintendo Prime. Just Your Average Gamer is here as well. Yet again, another member of the board of directors of Nintendo Prime. Welcome, man. Pandora Rose is here. Birdman, one of our mods, is here. Welcome, man. Nightbot, always got to shout out Nightbot, putting in that work. We got Narwhal Gaming Variety is here. Welcome. Kyle C4 is here. Seahawks 24 Rule, one of our members of the board and moderators here. Let's see here. Andres Restart is here, who you guys know he is a fellow YouTuber, but he is a mod here because I must have modded him at some point. Welcome, man. I hope you're having a good time. Let's see here. Donna Savoy is here, another member of the board of directors of Nintendo Prime. Cool Breeze is here. Scrolling on down, David Haney is here. Electro TDS is here. Going on the list, Tyler Wrights is here. Skleet is here. ASAP Rel is here. Let's go. Shiny Ray 01 is here. Robert Tolan is here. Ricky is here. Another member of our board of directors here is Natsu spamming the old Eric Moore doing the dab. Oh, yeah. Let's go. I don't even care today, man. The Bucks are the champions. Everything's a go today. Senor Snipey is here. Welcome, man. Scrolling on down this list. Ooh, Nate Vargas is here. Welcome. Mercurius is here. Think Konnichiwa. How's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. I think Shiny Ray 01, that's the first time I've seen you right now. Thank you. The Elemental Hero of the Shadow Link, Dragon Wolf King, as always, one of the longest YouTube names in history, is at the stream. How's it going, man? Panda Production Studio is here. Dalton Donnelly, welcome. Brian C., another member of the board and moderator at our channel. Welcome, man. We got Gamer Lot here. Bowling Bodie is here. Welcome, man. Sweet Life of Dio Brando's here. Purple Dragon, Daryl Franco. Oh, boy. Let's see here. I don't want to lose my spot here. Purple Dragon. I love that name. Purple Dragon. Vernon Hardapple is here. Apparently his ass is on fire. Why? Is it because the Bucks won the championship and the Phoenix Suns were sent back into the sun? Adrian is here. How's it going, man? Stylish Kusher is here. Another member of the board of directors of Nintendo Prime. Let's see here. Late at Life is here. Ice Sonic is here. Justin Basil, yet another member of the board of directors, spamming the hoops. Bucks and 6, baby. Toto Dope is here. Bolin Bodie is here. Jeff Wookie is here. Kanzaki M is here. I think that's it. I think I caught up. If I missed anyone, I apologize. I really do try to shout out as many people as I can at the beginning of the streams. I don't ever mean to miss anyone. Sometimes it happens. I'm only human. Do not feel like I am purposely leaving anybody out. I try to shout out everyone I can. As an example, J Biggs, aka Big JYNC, says, "What's up? I'm playing Skyward Sword while listening to you." Yeah, man. Skyward Sword is lots of fun. It's pretty much as good as I remember. I have yet to use it without motion controls. I probably should eventually play it in handheld. In fact, I know I'm going to be playing it in handheld soon because me and my fiance fly out on Sunday, Sunday morning to be exact, to go on our vacation. We're going to be gone for a week. That doesn't mean I'm going to be gone here for a week. I'm going to be gone from this set, my house, etc. My sister's taking the kids for a week, and her and I are heading off to Vegas for a week. Not what we wanted to do. We were supposed to go on a cruise. Long story about why that's not happening now, why the cruise is next year. Don't really want to get into that, but bottom line is we are heading out of here to Viva Las Vegas on Sunday for our first ever non-kid vacation in a decade. Yeah, so it's kind of a big deal for us. So that's coming up real fast, but I will still have my laptop with. I'm still going to have a microphone. I might even bring this camera. I haven't decided yet, but I'll be bringing some sort of camera. If not, I'll use my phone. Either way, we'll make it work. We're going to be still putting out videos every day. They might not come out, at any regular intervals because I'm on vacation. But yeah, we're going to still put out videos while we're gone. Just don't expect a ton of content. I would definitely not expect to see any live streams at all. But that being said, that means we got one more stream, I guess, before the end of July, because that would be tomorrow night. Will be the last stream before the end of July. So, how you guys doing, man? This dude deserves likes. You just called out everyone's name. I try, man. We got 117 people watching. It would be cool to get over 100 likes, but I mean, I can't make you click that like button. I just hope you want to. What's a vacation, right? It's been a decade. So what's a vacation? Like when you take your kids, when you have kids, I got 3 of them. So when you take your kids on a vacation, like, say we go to Wisconsin Dells or we go camping, it doesn't feel like a vacation because going on those vacations, as cool as it is, the water parks or the theme parks or the camping trips or the sightseeing or museums or wherever you go, it's more work to take your kids to those places than to stay home. So it doesn't actually feel like, as a parent, Like you're really getting a vacation. Oh yeah, maybe you're not working for a few days, right? Okay, yeah, sure. So you're not doing your job, but then your job is replaced by full-time stress-ridden kid business, and that's just not fun. I love my kids. I love watching them have a good time, but it's always a hassle, really big hassle. So it really feels like I haven't been on vacation in a decade at all. So this is going to be really nice. As crazy as it costs, when you have kids, it's not really a vacation. It's a vacation for them. And the whole reason you do it is for them. Like if we go to the Dells or we go camping, it's not for me and Yulia, it's for the kids. So they can have an experience, have that family vacation. Still not, I don't know. Maybe other families are different, but for me, I feel it's just not, it's not really a vacation. And Yulia and I have had kids involved basically since the moment, no, literally, since the moment we started dating, there were kids involved. So we've never actually had time for just her and I, believe it or not. We've had a night off from kids here or there, but in general, kids have always been part of our life, part of our relationship. So it's going to be nice just to have that week. I can't wait. You know, we're going to Tournament of the Kings. I haven't done that since I was a kid when I went to Vegas with my parents. So we're doing Tournament of the Kings. That's going to be fun. She's never been to Vegas. I've been to Vegas like 4 or 5 times. She's never been to Vegas, so this is going to be a lot of fun. I know all the great places to go. We're going to have a good time. Obviously, a relaxing time. We're there for 7 days, man. Of course, going to spend a lot of time just chilling, relaxing by the pools, all that jazz. But we're going to have a lot of fun. All right. Will you make a video about the 30th anniversary of Super Mario Kart? Probably not. So, at one point in my life, on this channel, I was trying to make like a video recognizing like the major anniversaries for like every IP that Nintendo has put out. And then I started realizing Nintendo has a shitload of IPs. A shitload of them. To the point that if I were to start making videos and content built around all the anniversaries for all their games, that's all my channel would do basically every year is forget the news. We're just going to be making videos about the anniversaries of games and franchises all the time because there's too many. So obviously we do things like we celebrate Zelda because I'm a Zelda guy. Zelda's a huge part of my thing. I got I got Skirvo back there. I'm a huge Zelda guy. It's my favorite franchise. It's my favorite game of all time in it. So like, yeah, I'll cover that. Mario's another big one for me, and that's Nintendo's like mascot. So we'll cover that. Pokemon, we'll cover that. But those are like the big IPs that always get recognition. I try to mention on live streams like, hey, Donkey Kong's 40th anniversary here. We also have Metroid's 35th anniversary, and so like I'll bring them up, but I don't really make content around them. So yeah, Super Mario Kart's 30th anniversary. That's cool. I don't know. Like we could reminisce, I guess, on Mario Kart memories, but maybe get into that a little bit later. Because again, we're gonna have a Q&A and all that jazz. Let's get into the actual rumors here, shall we? That's what you got. That's what a lot of you guys are here for, right? You want to see what the rumors are at, where they're coming from, all that jazz. So before I show you guys, because we're gonna go through this, I haven't even read them all myself. We're gonna read a bunch of these, and I'm just gonna be reacting as I read them because I don't know. I've been sitting on this. I don't know. It looks like since July 16th. I've been sitting on it for like a week. I did want to make a standalone video on it because when I make standalone videos, not live streams, standalone videos on any sort of leaks, rumors, that kind of situation, I tend to focus on the things that have at least a form of credibility I can verify. So like when I cover Samus Hunter, there's enough stuff that Samus Hunter has right in her past that I can be like, okay, it's at least worth maybe talking about in a video. And there is some new stuff from Samus Hunter, but again, I'm kind of saving that for potential future content next week while I'm gone because, I might not be scouring news so much because it takes a lot of time to go through the news cycle. So I have a few things banked up that I might make videos on next week. So there's that. And then I have to consider some other things obviously, the history of that source. They got some stuff right, but what have they gotten wrong? And how do I bring that up and be fair about covering it? And when is there a point that I stop covering the source? Even if they have a long history, but they just got a bunch of stuff wrong. Like there's a lot of people that think, oh, I shouldn't cover anything that Takahashi Machizuki reports anymore because he was wrong about the 4K DLSS Switch Pro being the OLED Switch or whatever, right? Like, he was wrong about that. So I shouldn't cover anything he says. But then my journalistic integrity tells me, but dude, that's like one thing he was wrong about when he was right about the exact chip and all of the details on the original Nintendo Switch. He was right about the chip being shrunk and all the details on the Switch Lite. And then setting that aside, he got everything else about Switch OLED correct. Down to the 7-inch panel, who's making the panel, all this jazz. So, like, I can't just toss him aside because he got, like, the one thing wrong. He even got the release timing right in October, right? He said it's coming out in September or October, and he was right about that. So, yeah, it's kind of this whole cluster F when you're covered in this stuff that you got to kind of let things simmer down. And obviously, in wake of all of the Switch OLED stuff, it was kind of time to back off a little bit. You got to pick and choose your battles, right? So, like, when Switch OLED got announced and wasn't the Switch Pro, and then the very next day I had a new Switch Pro rumor video come out, people weren't happy that I was even still making videos on it. So it's kind of like, when you live in this world where I report on rumors, I have to be careful about how I approach things. So you kind of got to let things die down a bit, right? And I feel like now, we've had a couple weeks now, at least, since Switch OLED was announced. We have had over a month since E3. So, whatever rumors are right or wrong, we've had a month since then. I think it's time now where we could start to maybe cover some of them again. And no worries, I'm not going to just suddenly start spamming you guys with a bunch of rumors all the time. That really only ever happens before E3 because, as I call, the lead up to E3 is basically Rumor City. That's just the time of year when we get the most amount of rumors. But we're still going to have rumors and leaks happening throughout the year. So if you kind of look at some of the more recent content I've done, that's kind of the stuff you can sort of expect, to be more commonplace. So people always say, what do you do when there's no rumors or leaks during E3? It's like, well, go look at my channel. I have a long history of a whole bunch of other videos. I covered some new information from the Giga Leak. That's all been verified. In fact, the guy's in jail for it right now. I did a video today about Joy-Con drift and a new fix for that. We talked about Monster Hunter Story 2 sales and Skyward Sword HD sales. We talked about worrying about Valve Steam Deck. We had a launch stream. Nintendo themselves directly responded to the rumors, so we covered that. We talked about some new features in Skyward Sword HD before it came out, etc., etc. So you can kind of see, like, I covered news that I'm interested in, and it's not just leaks and rumors. So those are the kind of videos you can kind of sort of expect along the way. And my live streams, though, are a little different. Not only because I'm drinking, but my live streams are different because they focus more on the conversation rather than trying to deliver you necessarily 1000% accurate information. That's just the way it is. So we're going to cover these rumors in this video right now. I have no idea how credible this person is, and that's why I brought all this up, because I don't know enough. I have dug into this account before. This is not the first time. I've seen this account. I've followed them for a while. I'm not really getting a very good vibe in terms of long-haul track record of being right. But some people swear by this person that they're right. I don't know. The people who tell me that are fans, I have not been able to really vet this person enough to really consider making it like a standalone video. So we're just doing it here in a live stream setting on a Nintendo Prime Live. We're just going to go with that. So without further ado, and I know you guys have waited long enough at this point, let's get to those rumors. And you'll see exactly where they come from. Let's see here. Oh, geez, I got to change that text. We're not doing Skyward Sword HD today, right? We're MP Live. What are we doing there, Nate? Why? We're not playing Skyward Sword HD. We're NP Live. Oh, man. I got to unlock it now. Oh, man. The things I don't have set up ahead of time, it is what it is. I sort of fly by the seat of my pants around here. All right, let me get more in frame here. So, here's what we have going on. This guy named Marco Maro, at new Marco Maro, is the account. Again, I'm not going to sit here and say that this person is trustworthy. I am not putting any weight behind this, but it is something to at least consider. Truckloads of salt, all that jazz. Let's get into what he has to say. So he says, new 2D DK adventure is one of the big hits for next year. Still unclear when, since it was planned for this holiday season a long time ago. I'm again kind of broken English there, but will make sense to use it as a closing or opening for fiscal year. Splatoon 3 should come early next summer, which I expect Splatoon 3 to be a summer game anyways. Buddy Mission Bond is unlikely to be localized because Famicom Detective Club didn't perform very well, which I didn't think it was going to perform very well. I'm glad they came over, but I wasn't interested, and I don't think very many people were. They apparently might have sold under 25,000 units worldwide. There are plans for a new entry, but with the situation, it's unlikely to happen. I mean, assuming those sales figures are true, I would say that this is Famicom Detective Club is going to be a dead IP at this point. I'm glad they tried to give it a second wind of life, but it just didn't really look like the kind of game that was going to sell big numbers. Who knows? Maybe 25,000 was profitable and they're going to do it. Beats me. Style Boutique / Savvy for Switch is waiting to be released at some point, probably around Christmas time or early 2022. So it's kind of weird. Like it's like, oh, end of the year or beginning of the year. Okay. They're holding this release as a random release for week months, which to me is not the beginning or end of year. But Bayonetta 3, not shown at E3, was really weird since I heard that the game is at the final stages of development. There is stuff ready to be shown. In September or late this year, they will release the first trailer. There's also 1 to 2 ports ready and waiting in the bench. We'll have to see what those ports are. I don't know what they could be from Platinum Games. Obviously, for Bayonetta 3, I basically figured they're either going to show it at the next Direct in List 2022, or they're going to show it at the Game Awards if it's coming next year. That's my bet. It was revealed at the Game Awards originally, remember? So it's kind of like, if it is going to be a 2022 game, it would make sense to come back at the Game Awards since that's where it initially debuted at. Or debuted at, sorry. People get mad when I announce the T. Marco Maro then says, Intelligent S is supervising Advance Wars 1+2. They are done with WarioWare, and they finished a new Fire Emblem Echoes for first half 2022, and they're working on a Paper Mario remake for 2022 or 2023. They're also working with a small game for the eShop. So there's some big stuff in there. You know, obviously the Fire Emblem remake game has kind of been one that's been talked about for a while. And these first two we already knew about. You know, a Paper Mario remake, I find that to be interesting. Super Paper Mario sold very, very well. I'm not so sure that they need. You know, the Origami King sold so well. I don't think they need to reboot it or remake. Well, and whatever. They're doing what they're doing, apparently. We'll see. Again, this is all just unverified rumors. The next LG game, Next Level Games, game is going smoothly. Probably ready to be shown at some point next year. There's also an early prototype for Wii's Punch-Out on the Switch, maybe for a future port, a remake, or a sequel. So basically something Punch-Out related could be coming. I'm okay with that. I like Punch-Out. Moving on, Rhythm Paradise / Heaven gets a green light for a new entry for Switch months ago, but I don't expect it till 2023. Pikmin 4, this is really cool. Pikmin 4 was a game with many years of work behind and one unofficial restart around 2016, 2017, similar to Metroid Prime 4. Finally, the game is very close to being finished. And if nothing else about these rumors, if nothing else, I want this part to be true. Pikmin 3 Deluxe is the best-selling game in the franchise. The re-release of Pikmin 3 on Switch is the best-selling Pikmin game ever released. It's time. It's time for Pikmin 4. If there was ever a time for Pikmin 4, it's now. So, if it exists, if it's complete, Miyamoto at one point said it was almost done. Let's go. Let's get this thing out the door. Kirby's next big adventure is something to be expected in 2022. Game was designed as a 3D adventure with RPG elements. So we know a new Kirby game's in the works, at least one, because the developers behind the game have said in public interviews that they're making a new game. So it's not even a rumor. There is a new game, and they did say it's supposed to be the biggest Kirby project they've ever done. That could explain why we might not get a Kirby game this year for like the first time in a while, because they're actually taking their time with this. We'll have to wait and see. A lot of people wondering if it was going to be 3D. Obviously, if Donkey Kong is going to go in the 2D direction, it'd be interesting to see another franchise from Nintendo go from 2D to 3D. Why not Kirby? We'll see what happens. 3D adventure with RPG elements. We'll have to see if that's even a thing. Metroid Prime Collection should be ready for the first half of 2022. Again, multiple people have been talking about Metroid Prime Trilogy for a long time. But this thing's just been done for years, maybe as far back as 2018, and they're just sitting on it because, yeah, Metroid Prime 4 is a long ways off, or this or that, and they don't want to release it like many years in between Trilogy HD versus Prime 4, which I get it. Probably should be like a 6-month run-up or something. Anyways, so it should be ready for the first half of 2022. It's already ready from what I've heard. I heard they included more stuff in the game. So it's not 100% Metroid Prime Trilogy Wii HD. First look at Metroid Prime 4 later on. The game is at 65% of its development cycle. I never understood like when people come out like in these leaks and they're like, oh yeah, the game is 65% done. What the fuck does that even mean? So just under, slightly under, not at 66%, not 2/3 of the way done. Oh no, it's at 65%. What the fuck is the difference between like 55 and 70? Like, how do you know? If you're not actually working on this game, how do you know? Like, what does that mean? What does 65% into development mean? Like, what even? Okay, sure. 2024? Okay. As I said before, even if Nintendo said no more Zelda for the anniversary, Wind Waker and Twilight Princess have been done for a while, which again, that wouldn't surprise me. They're Wii U ports. So they will come sooner than later. I don't know anything about Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask HD, but something about the N64 version that maybe we will know later this year. Okay, so maybe they bring if they release the N64 Nintendo Switch Online thing, then I would obviously expect it there. But this is like Twilight Princess and Wind Waker HD coming to Switch is not a shocker at this point. It's expected. They were Wii U games. What from the Wii U is Nintendo not willing to port? I mean, come on, they're going to port these games. They might already be done. It's just like, well, when are they going to release them? Next summer? I don't know. 2024, 2023? I have no idea. How long is Switch going to be the main console for them? I don't know. As I stated a year ago, there is a remake for the Oracle of Ages / Seasons in the works for 2022 to 2023. I would bet if Breath of the Wild 2 comes next year, then I think these would be for the following year. If I had to bet, if these exist. There were plans to include a third game. Ooh, they're going to complete that Oracle trilogy? Ooh, that definitely won't come out same year as Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild 2. That was planned originally for the Game Boy Color. Was clear at least since the start that it'll be separate releases. So they're not going to bundle them together. They're still going to release it as Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Seasons, and then the third Oracle game. Little skeptical on that, but that's what they did with the original release. They were separate releases. We'll have to wait and see. They still do that with Pokemon. When they remake Pokemon, they're separate releases, so I guess it wouldn't be shocking. Detective Pikachu 2 will make a trailer debut early next year, alongside the first one that will be ported to Switch Gen 9. Unlikely to happen in 2022 since there is a Pokemon Let's Go sequel planned for next year. I'm okay with that. I like Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, but it's not everyone's cup of tea. Pokemon Pinball will make a comeback. I'm not that in some way, somewhere. God, I can say that. It'll be on phones. It'll be somewhere. So there you go. There's a rundown of all of those rumors. So what are your guys' thoughts on those? Obviously, I get some thoughts along the way. Haven't looked at the chat in a while. What are you guys thinking? What are you guys' thoughts on those rumors? I'm checking chat right now. Let's read off some of your guys' comments. Oh yeah, the Oracle games are great, Kyle. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Kyle C4, welcome. The one Prime is looking into. They say 65% to make it sound like they know more than they do. Yeah, I literally don't understand what the point. Even if like their source was a developer and the developer said, yeah, we're like 65% of the way done. Like, what does that even mean to us common folk, right? Like, I don't think the percentages mean anything. This leak is real. This leak is real since no bangers yet. Okay. Yeah, that dude, he stopped tweeting leaks for a while, and then this year he started again. What were the name of the third? I can't remember. There was something in some dev docs a while back that referenced like a possible name for that third game in the Oracle series. But I can't remember what it was called. It's a long time since I've looked into it. These leaks seem realistic over something like Sunshine. I mean, none of the leaks are far-fetched. Like something like we know there's a new Kirby game. There's multiple sources on the Wind Waker Twilight Princess HD, multiple sources on a new Donkey Kong game, multiple sources on Metroid Prime Trilogy. Pikmin 4, literally Nintendo themselves said it was done some time ago, and we haven't seen it. Multiple sources on the fire. So like, there's a lot of like just reaffirming rumors that were already out there and just giving us some release timing on them. There are a few new things, obviously. Bayonetta 3, we have no idea what's up with that game, and so we're getting a little bit of details on that. Obviously, the Paper Mario remake, that's something I definitely haven't heard anywhere else. Let's see here. So that was a new one in here. Possibly about Punch-Out, remake, port, or sequel. That's the first time I've heard about it here. So yeah, there's a few things that were kind of floating in here. Like the Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Seasons stuff, I've heard that from Game Over Jesse before. So yeah, like there's nothing crazy in here. The Let's Go sequels for next year, I think this is the first time I've heard that rumor. So like, I don't know. There's some new stuff in here, but of course it's sprinkled in with affirmations of other people's rumors. So it's kind of all, is the person legit or not? Like, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Mystical Seed of Courage. There we go. Thank you, Gamerlot. Yeah, Mystical Seed of Courage. Thank you. I know, guys. Sounds like a weird name for a Zelda game, but yeah, it was Mystical Seed of Courage was correct. Yep, that was what the third one was going to be called. Thank you for looking that up. He's mostly making safe bets. Oh yeah. And can you see, like, this guy has leaked stuff before, but he just doesn't have a long enough track record that I felt confident making a solo video on this where people start to be like, oh my god, and get hyped. It's like, I realize when I put rumor in a thing, when I put rumor in the title, you're supposed to be skeptical. I literally, it's funny, like the people guys were so mad at me over the Switch Pro stuff. It's like, did you not see me, like, I don't know, how many, there was like 4 different videos in the month of July or June alone that I wore a tinfoil hat while talking about Switch Pro rumors? Like, I was trying to, like, let you guys know, always be skeptical about all this crap, even if I seem swayed, and I seem like I believe it, and I make a good case to have hope. It's a rumor. Always be skeptical. Be responsible for yourself. But, this is something that I wouldn't make a solo video on, just because I don't have a good enough track record with this source to be like, yeah. Now, if all of this stuff, like, literally happens, including the stuff, primarily the stuff that they were the first person I heard it from, and the release timing on all these games are right, at that point, then it's like, okay, all right, well, maybe on your next batch, it'll be something worth talking about. What's also obviously a red flag, this is always a big red flag, is when you get a big game dump like this. Most leaks are for like a game or two, not like this. This is like, hey, I know everything happening at Nintendo. I don't know any insider that knows everything happening at Nintendo at the same time. Like, even Samus Hunter, some of the stuff we got for her that was correct, it was stuff that was leaked over the course of like a year. This is all at once. And that's where I find really weird. Like, here's everything at once. That's pretty sus. So again, not someone I would make a solo video on, but definitely something that is worth at least bringing up in a live stream and seeing what you guys think about it. Someone asking if I'm gay. Well, I have no problem if any of you guys are gay. That's totally fine. I have gay friends. I guess gay acquaintances. I don't have very many friends. But I have a fiance who is female, identifies as female. I have 3 kids. So, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious which way I swing, but it doesn't really matter which way you swing. Maybe I am, and I don't even know. You know, maybe I'm living life in the closet, and I don't even know. Let's see here. What is this rumor guy's name? Marco Maro. Marco Maro. It was titles, rumors, and you wore a foil hat. You were for sure telling us it was 100% correct, right? Yeah. Obviously, like all those conspiracy theorists out there, I was definitely, maybe because I wore a foil hat, right? Because I had the metal hat on. Because I had the metal hat on, it for sure added credibility to the rumors. Just like the conspiracy theorists out there with the aliens that wear this stuff, and they don't wear it as a joke. They wear it because they legitimately think it does something. It protects their brains from being read. Like, they legitimately think that. So, and maybe because I did that, it made it more believable to people. Damn it. Damn it, Nate. You couldn't reverse psychology people into realizing it's bullshit, probably. But maybe it might be true. And that's what we're talking about, because I can't good sourcing and I can't debunk it myself. So, anyways. Let's see here. How much time do you spend making content? How much time do you actually get to spend playing Switch games? What's up, Dreamy? Dreamy, that's a good question. First off, in the future when you want to ask me questions, at me in the chat so it highlights it for you. I will say this. I don't spend a lot of time lately making content. Besides setting aside live streams, when I do those, they usually last like what, 2 or 3 hours at the most. When I do those, but setting aside that, because that all happens at night when my kids are asleep and everything. During the day, I maybe spend an hour or 2 making a video, maybe 2. Because of the way I have this set up, as long as I have everything researched ahead of time, which I can usually do from my phone without even being down here, or whatever. Yeah, I'll do that. So as for how much time do I get to play games, that's always a very good question, because it's not YouTube that prevents me from having more time to play games. I have a full-time job. I'm a full-time student in college, and I'm raising 3 kids. If you want to know what eats into my gaming time, YouTube. And you'd be like, oh, but that couple hours here or there that you spend on YouTube, you could spend playing games. Yeah, but chances are that time would just get reallocated towards school, towards work, or towards my kids. So how much time do I get to game? I basically can game, thanks to Switch being portable and being able to do it anywhere. There's even times when I'm at home and my kids are playing outside and I'm just, chilling and sitting on like the porch or whatever. I can, play my Switch then for a little while. We're just at home. So like the Switch enables me to game more often. It's right here. The Switch enables me to game more often than I normally would. I do not get a lot of time to sit down at my computer or sit down on my couch here and play the Xbox, PlayStation 5, or PC. I don't get a lot of time to do that kind of gaming. Console, traditional, sit in front of a TV, I don't get a lot of time to do that. Now, there are times it comes out where there's particular games I'm heavily interested in, and I'll spend like a weekend just smashing away at that game, like I used to when I was a kid. But those are few and far between. Or like if I have a gaming session with Eric, like Eric and I really like playing Madden. So like he'll come over for a night and we'll pull some 8-hour session playing Madden when we set up franchises and have a lot of fun. But besides that, I don't do a lot of console or PC gaming as much as I used to. I still PC game here and there, but it's one of those. Those are the ones I end up not having as much time for. Switch, I still get plenty of time in on Switch. My problem on Switch is I own so many games on it that I'm constantly bouncing around games. You know, like my last played games, let me see, Skyward Sword HD, Ukulele, Splatoon 2, Super Mario 3D All-Stars, Mario Kart Live Home Circuit, Smash, the SNES app, Snipper Clips, yes, the original, Pikmin 3, Super Kirby Clash, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and Yoshi's Crafted World. Those are my recent played games, and those have all been touched like in the past week. So my problem is I have too many games. So like I'm bouncing around games all the time. I don't sit down and just finish one. Like Skyward Sword, I've already beaten Skyward Sword twice, so I don't have like this deep desire to beat Skyward Sword HD. But I still enjoy playing it. And I'm going to be playing it on my plane to Vegas because it's like a 4-hour flight there, 5-hour flight back. That's 9 hours of gaming right there that I'm probably going to spend just playing Skyward Sword HD. And then, you know, yeah, I don't know. Like Mario Odyssey, I dominated that shit. So like Mario Golf, I played the shitload out of that when it came out. And now I don't really think I'm probably going to play it again. You know, so it's kind of interest level combined with like if it's a port of a game that I've already beaten before, I don't have like a lot of desire to go and beat it. But like, you know, Animal Crossing, I sunk easily 150 hours into that game in like the first month. But I haven't really played it much since. Fire Emblem Warriors, you know, I sunk like 30 hours into that game when it came out. So like I have time to game. It's just a game has to come out on Switch that I'm heavily interested in spending a lot of time on. Reality is that there hasn't been a lot of those games. Like Bowser's Fury came out. I beat Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. And I mean, I didn't even beat 3D World. I played a little bit of it, but I already beat Super Mario 3D World on Wii U. I 100%ed it with my fiance. So I just focused on Bowser's Fury mode. I beat it and really haven't played it since. That's just kind of how I go. I don't play games through many times. I'm not into a ton of multiplayer games. You know, so like, yeah, I'll play Ninjala or Splatoon here and there, some Smash, Mario Kart, but like, I don't play online games against other people a lot. So I play a lot of single player experiences. So because of that, once I beat the single player experience, I'm just kind of done, you know? One game I haven't beat yet, I gotta get to it. I'm so close. Immortals Phoenix Rising. I need to finish that one off and get into the DLC. But anyways, that's just the way I am. So yeah, it's not a question of having time to game. I will make time to play a game when it's a game I'm very interested in spending a lot of time playing. Does that make sense? I can compartmentalize my time. Plus, there's always the justification, especially on Switch. I run a YouTube channel called Nintendo Prime. Very easy for me to justify spending a lot of time on a game on Switch because I could talk about it on my channel. So like I have a mental justification. Oh yeah, I can spend, 4 hours here, 5 hours there. There's the blah, blah, blah. And hey, there's a good reason for that. So yeah, Snipper Clips is a great game. It's a fun couple game too. If you had a chance to help create either the next Mario, Zelda, or Kirby game, which series would I choose? Well, Zelda, because that's the one I wouldn't trust myself with the other ones. I go with Zelda, because that's the one I have the most knowledge of. Master Bear Jedi said, folks severely underestimate the amount of time kids in college take up. I've been playing Astral Chain for about 8 weeks, which is perfect for me. Because, yeah, the portability is huge because I don't have to be in front of the TV. By the way, personal thing here. I prefer playing games on my TV. I love when I can sit down, turn on my Series X and play a game. Turn on PlayStation 5 and play a game. Sit down at my PC on my giant 49-inch wide, 144 hertz, awesome $1,000 Samsung monitor and just plow away at a game on PC. I love it. But how often do I actually get to do it? Haven't turned my Series X on in like a month. Haven't had time to sit down and play a game on it. And there hasn't obviously been, again, a game that came out that I feel like I need to slam at on Xbox right now. There will be. Halo Infinite, I'm sure I'll spend some time on. But again, I'm not really big into multiplayer, so how much time am I really going to spend on it? I'm sure I'll probably toss 30, 40 hours at it, but then I might not pick it up again. I'm waiting for something like Age of Empires 4. Now, I will admit, the Age of Empires franchise is like the one franchise besides World of Warcraft that I will play against people like crazy because I love it. I love Age of Empires. I love the multiplayer. I will play I'll play so much of that on PC when that comes out. God, I might end up putting 300 hours into that game when it comes out. I'm also big into the Total War franchise, but I don't do the online stuff. I just do the single player. So, but that's just me. Everyone's different. But thanks to this, I could be watching my kids and still be able to play this, right? Oh, they're watching a movie that, we've seen a zillion times, like Minions or something, right? All right, cool. Well, you guys watch that movie. I'll watch it with you, but I'm just going to sit here. Oh, you're coming? No. You're not allowed to watch me play. You go on the couch. You watch your movie. I'm in the chair. I'm playing my Switch. Don't worry about Dad. Just in case I decide to turn on some Doom Eternal or something, I'm like, oh no, can't let them see me ripping apart zombies. Or zombies, not zombies. Ripping apart demons. Let's see here. You played over 100 hours on 9 games on Switch, which is amazing since most are single players. Nice, man. Yeah, Age of Empires. Yeah, Age of Empires and Age of Empires 2 were my jam. AoE 3 was just okay. So I'm a little skeptical for Age of Empires 4, but it's been so long. I also like the Warcraft games, StarCraft games. We got the StarCraft 2, and that was great. And then when are we getting another one? Are they ever going to make another Warcraft game besides World of Warcraft, which I love World of Warcraft, by the way, but it's not Warcraft 1, 2, and 3. When are we getting Warcraft 4? Ever? And now, obviously, there's all this controversy at Activision Blizzard. Damn it. The thing is, I know people, or knew people anyways, that worked at Activision Blizzard. And the departments they worked in did not have the issues that California is saying that company has. And there was a time when the Activision branch and the Blizzard branch were kind of independent of each other. And I still think they are. I still think they have, because like BlizzCon is still a thing. So I still think they technically aren't in the same building or anything like that. They're separate. But obviously they're all still ran by the overall parent company. So like, I do still wonder if some of that culture is more towards one side of the company than the other, since the people I knew were on the other side of the company and all told me that this, including one female staff, told me this never happened to her on that part of the company. But on the other side, assuming that this lawsuit is true and everything alleged in the lawsuit is true from the state of California, I don't know how their CEO survives this. I mean, Bobby Kotick's sitting up there making $150 million bonuses, and like, that's what's happening under your reign. Might not matter how much money you're making. You have the state of California suing your ass, and they might take all that money back. Yeah, I'm trying to be careful about, like, because I think, screw it. The people I knew used to work at Blizzard. I think one of them actually still does. And they all said it wasn't happening on that side of the company. Not that there aren't issues, crunch, and everything else. But it definitely feels like it's the Activision side of the company, the Call of Duty side, essentially, because that's pretty much all they pretty much focus on that side now. That is really having that problem. But I still have an active subscription to World of Warcraft, and for the first time in a while, I've wondered if I should cancel it, even though I don't think it's happening on that side of the company. I don't know for sure. Just because I have some people telling me it's not doesn't mean it's not happening in certain departments. So it's like, and I'm sure it's gotten better, but that's because the state of California started investigating 2 years ago. So obviously Activision was going to start getting their act together over the last 2 years, because guess what? They're being investigated by the state of California that they literally have their employees in. So when you start to get investigated by the state, yeah, you're going to start to get your act together, but they still discovered enough stuff. So And I think the toughest part about all of it, all these allegations by the state of California, to me, it's not even like the equal wage thing or the equal promotion thing. We know that's a problem pretty much industry wide, worldwide, right? Paying women the same wages as men for the same amount of work, giving them the same advancement opportunities, not opportunities because they are female, but not holding them back. Like basically promoting someone who's less qualified than the female because they're male and because she's female, or like being sexist essentially. I am not saying that you need to promote women in the workplace just to promote women in the workplace. You don't do diversity for diversity's sake. But if they're just as qualified or more qualified even, then especially if they're more qualified than the male who got the job, that's wrong. That means you're being discriminatory because they're female. That I don't like. But setting that stuff aside, some of the stuff like that stuff that's a problem just in general in society. But the other stuff, that's where I'm like, whoa. Because like Ubisoft had some of these problems too, right? Like Ubisoft's had multiple accusations, all this stuff come out. But nothing quite as bad as a few things. One, groping in the workplace. We're not just talking about going out to a bar and saying something inappropriate and making a pass on your coworker. At the workplace, having literal gatherings at the cubicles that basically are all about making sexual jokes about women and then grabbing them, groping them, which I presume is, grabbing their ass or something. Like, what? In the workplace. We're not even talking about inappropriate jokes, talking down to them. That's all wrong. But you're literally groping them in the workplace? Oh, and then the supervisor who was dating someone who worked under them, which by the way, I'm not saying a supervisor can't date someone who works under them. I love and all that. It shouldn't really matter where you work. But bottom line is there's obviously a power dynamic at play there. And what happened in this situation, according to the state of California, is they've been dating. They're obviously been sexual and all this jazz. And he had lewd pictures, which I assume were naked photos of her, because that's just something couples do. Yulia has naked photos of me, and I have naked photos of her. So it's what happens with couples, but we don't share those with anybody. Well, he was sharing them with coworkers, and at least according to that report from California, it led to her killing herself because of the ridicule she was getting over her naked photos being shared among coworkers. Like, I don't even know what to think. It's wrong on every level of human decency. It's wrong on every level. Like, I don't condone the stuff that happened at Ubisoft. That stuff sucks. But this makes Ubisoft look like that was just something that happened on the high school playground. This, which by the way, there's no allegations of rape at this point. But there's been jokes about it. There's the groping. There's the, not paying females who are doing the same amount of work, equal pay, or allowing them to advance in the company, pushing people who might be less qualified than them. And then obviously the supervisor who shared photos of a coworker who they happened to be dating at the time that directly led to such a high level of depression that that person ended their life. And they shared it with coworkers. Not only is that guy a piece of shit, I'm sorry. I have access, I'm sure somewhere, I don't know where, I can't even think of, to ex-girlfriends that I've been with, right? Ex-girlfriends that I have naked photos of somewhere. Maybe I don't anymore, I don't know. Probably on old phones of mine, but still, of ex-girlfriends. And I'd never just start sharing those around, right? I would never take those photos and share them with anybody because that was something that was intimate. between us at the time of that relationship. That's not something that was sent to me to give me permission to put on the internet or share with friends. Like, the only permission when those photos were sent to me or given to me were for my eyes, not anybody else's. And no matter how shitty that relationship might go or how much of a bitch someone you might end up thinking that your ex-girlfriend is, I would never violate someone in that way and release that stuff. And this was a supervisor at a company acting like it's not a big deal, sharing it with coworkers. I don't get it. And that's like a big story this week. I don't want to ignore it because it's a big story this week. Like, California's been digging into it for 2 years, and this is just part of their initial discovery. And yeah, things seem to be getting better at the company because, yeah, of course they are. Because the state is watching your every move. So, of course, things are getting better now. It's like, oh, yeah, these are stuff that used to happen. Things are better at the company now. Well, no shit, they have to be. Or the state of California is going to shut your fucking company down. You're leading to basically rape culture, suicide. Like, what the fuck? Of course, the state's going to shut you the fuck down. So, of course, things are better now. But should have never happened in the first place. I don't know what's going to come of this case. Obviously, a bunch of people are going to lose their jobs. Good riddance. They're going to get fined to Kingdom Come, hopefully for billions, because all the victims of the groping, all that jazz, the family of the woman who ended up committing suicide over stuff. I really hope they get some payouts out of this or something. Money doesn't really fix experiences, though, When you're treated like an animal and a plaything in a workplace environment, no amount of money makes that better, right? Like, if Bobby Kotick walks into some girl who had her ass constantly groped at work, unwantedly groped. Like, it's one thing, like, if you're dating someone in the workplace and you're flirting with them and it's like that flirtation, but that's when you're dating someone. And even then, probably shouldn't do that in the workplace, right? But that's not what we're talking about here. This is cases of unwanted advances. Even if Bobby Kotick knocked on one chick's door and said, here's $10 million, that's just hush money at that point. That's not changing the mental toll that took, the belittling of them, breaking these people down to being nothing but their bodies. You don't matter except for what your body does to my animal brain. And that's just dumb. They compared it to frat boy-like behavior. I think it's comparable to some frats, some fraternities. A lot of fraternities here in 2021 have gotten a lot better about the way the way they treat women. Same for sororities. Gotten better about some of the ways they treat men too. But because it's worked both ways in the past, and there are still some frats that are pretty bad, and still some sororities that are pretty bad. So I don't know if I like the exact comparison to that, because I think that's more of a too broad of a statement. You're kind of generalizing all fraternities and all sororities that way, and I don't think that's the right way to do it. But I don't know, man. It's just sad. I know this is just the world we live in, but it's just sad. Speaking on a more positive note, we are giving away a Switch OLED. I know it's such a weird topic during that. We're giving away a Switch OLED. All you have to do to enter is be subscribed. That's it. There's no special link or just be subscribed. I can download the subscriber list. I will note, obviously, that if your subscriptions are hidden, I won't be able to tell if you're subscribed. So you don't have to unhide it now if you are subscribed. But we are going to be drawing the winner live in early October. So maybe when you see me go live, because I'm going to try to schedule that stream ahead of time. When you see me go live, maybe it's like, oh, let me go to my settings quick and unhide, because I will download the list like right as soon as you see the countdown timer for the stream. I'm going to be downloading the subscriber list then. So like, you know, maybe the day before that stream goes up or something, like, hey, unhide your subscriptions for like 24 hours and then rehide them or something, right? Just so I at least get you on that list showing that you're subscribed. So Study Drop says, I'll continue to support Call of Duty. My love for Call of Duty has nothing to do with all that. It sucks, but they'll clean things up and fix it. So yeah, this is the tough thing, because we need to be a bit more fair about it. Because John Question says, you know, you're a fucking drone. Look, before a fight breaks out over this in the chat, I don't know if one will. I expect better of my viewers to not argue over this. You know, it's okay to have differing viewpoints. We're all hypocrites. We're all hypocrites. Do you own an electronic device? A laptop, a phone, computer, TV, anything that runs on power? You're a hypocrite. I'm not going to judge Steady Drop 'em for continuing to buy Call of Duty games when we all continue to buy electronics on the back of slave labor. We're all doing it. The stories are out there. They're not buried. We're well aware electronics are made on the back of slave labor, sometimes on the back of children. We know it's happening. This isn't news. This isn't even getting into, you know, the mines where some of the raw materials come from, and the culture that happens there, and the slavery that happens there. So like, we're all aware of this stuff. We just don't think about it, and we ignore it, and we set it aside because the electronics make our life more enjoyable. They make our lives, easier, fun. So like, we compartmentalize that, hey, these devices are going to exist anyways, so why not partake? We're all hypocrites like that. So I'm not going to judge anyone who wants to continue to buy Activision games, Blizzard games. I'm not going to judge any of you guys, because, hey, the bottom line is this. And I don't know if this is like considered a bad take. I have no idea. This is just my opinion at this exact moment. It could change over time. My opinion at this moment is, we obviously all only live once. We get to choose what we do with that finite time on this planet. And if you really enjoy Call of Duty games and you want to continue to play them, then continue to play them. I don't really, the problem is, it doesn't really matter if you buy or don't, like, whether or not I buy a Switch OLED or don't buy a Switch OLED, the slave labor is going to exist, and it's going to keep happening. Whether or not you buy a Call of Duty game or you don't buy a Call of Duty game, the practices that existed at that company are still going to be happening. Like, nothing we do as consumers is going to ultimately stop this. Like, remember when CD Projekt Red said there would be no crunch at all on Cyberpunk, and then, like, nothing we can do as consumers. You can say, well, if everybody, but we logically know that's not going to happen. If every person in the world just refuses to buy the next Call of Duty game, absolutely, it could make a difference. But we know that's not going to happen. So it's just, we live in this world where we're all hypocrites. So I'm not going to judge anyone specifically for what they choose to spend their money on. They're only on this planet once. Oftentimes when we buy these things, we're not thinking about all of the stuff happening behind the scenes. You know, when you buy Switch OLED, you're not thinking about the fact that a Foxconn factory might be involved that's using slave labor. You don't think about that. When you, like, literally when you walk into a store and you see a Switch and it's like a special Zelda edition something or whatever, and you get super excited, which by the way, there isn't a Zelda one yet, but when there is one, as I presume there will be someday, and you get all excited and, oh man, I want to get, or I got to get the pre-order in for the Steam Deck. I got to get this. I got to get that. Oh my gosh, I'm really trying really hard. You know, help me get a PlayStation 4, Jake Randall. And it's like, you're not thinking about what went into that system existing. Because we don't want to think about the bad in this world. We want to think about the good. All the good times we have with our friends playing games. All the good times we have, you know, with our electronics. We want to think about the good. We don't want to focus on the bad. We don't. We don't want to focus on the bad. We want to focus on the good when it suits us. We only really focus on the bad when it doesn't suit us. So, like, if you're someone that already hates Activision and doesn't play Call of Duty games, doesn't play Blizzard games, you don't care about any of the games Activision makes, this story is going to just give you all the reason to shit on that company all you want. But if you're someone that absolutely loves those games, yeah, that story is going to make you feel, you know, really bad for the people involved. But is it going to really change your purchasing decisions? Probably not, as long as they continue to make products you enjoy. The product and the big thing, the big thing I could say is the products being good aren't good because of X, Y, and Z. Like, as an example, Call of Duty is typically pretty good. It's not pretty good because of crunch. It's not pretty good because of the sexualization of female employees or the sharing around of lewd photos. The quality of those games aren't impacted by these negative things happening at the company. Like, we can't say that these games cannot be good without frat boy mentality, right? Like, no. Obviously, the games can be good without it. The quality of the game wouldn't change. This is a work culture problem that was cultivated at the company. And cultivated at many companies, if we're honest. Many companies have this problem. So, hopefully that wasn't too controversial. I don't like to be controversial on this stuff. I like to be honest, though. What's up, Loki? How's it going? Sometimes when you're a little too lit, I think about how your Switch was made. Someone said if you only focus on the bad, I think that, like, we want to focus on the good. You know, I'll give you an example. Like, we're going to Vegas, right? We're going to gamble, of course. We're in Vegas. Of course we're going to gamble. You don't think about, when you're going gambling, about, oh, what else could I spend that money on? Or what's my money at that casino going towards? You just think, huh, you know, maybe I'll win. If not, maybe I can at least hit games once on this machine and see what the games are like and maybe have fun with that and enjoy the excitement of the moment of maybe winning, but then, I didn't, whatever. You know, you can always go in expecting to lose, but, you know, there's always that little bit of excitement that, oh, maybe I'll win. And the thing is, you know that going in. So you want to focus on the positive. You'll think about the negative later, but you want to focus on the positive in the moment. So I kind of look at that, you know, with everything in life. It's not enjoyable to be negative. There's people that seem like they get joy out of being angry all the time. As they age and the way their body's going to go, you're going to notice that their body ain't liking that you're angry all the time. Your body wants you to be happy. They want you to produce more dopamine and all. They want you to be happy. It's good for your body. Even when you're a big guy like me. Angry or happy? Angry, I'm going to age like shit. Happy, I'm going to age better. Drink some shots. Shots are only for super chats. We haven't really had any, so we've had no super chats today at all, really. So hasn't been any shots tonight. $1.06, baby. Goldschlager. Goldschlager's $20 and up. UV cherries 10 and up. All the beers and all that. That's everything under $10. All that jazz. We also, by the way, have members goal up here. If we hit our member goal tonight, that's if you join and become a member of the board of directors, I will give away I'll do a giveaway live for you guys if we hit the goal. Oh yeah, we're going to some shows. We're going to go to some shows. We're not really planning to go off the strip, JM. So we're fine. We're good. We're good. See how it's running forward was I just came across something on Facebook. It's by Lego. It's on a page called Beyond the Brick. It's a Wii with a remote going through a TV. Even like that's pretty cool. Congrats on the Bucks winning the finals. Thanks, man. Cymbalina. What was this guy going on? You missed a whole long conversation. It started with the Activision stuff. What's going on with Activision right now? If you don't know what's going on with Activision, just type in like California versus Activision Blizzard. Because it's the state of California going after them. I don't want to really go back and recap it all. The Wynn Buffet is a must. The Wynn Buffet. Have I ever had that one? See, I've been to Vegas like 5 times. Yeah, 5 times. I don't know if I've been to the Wynn Buffet, though. So it's at Encore. So we're staying at Excalibur. It was just cheap. We did get a king bed with a jacuzzi room and all that because we're there for a week. We're just there because it's cheap. Then I found out after I booked it, of course, that my parents apparently go to Vegas like twice a year, and I had no idea. And they have like a bunch of free stays at the Bellagio. That would have been fun to stay at. We have our first super chat. Thank you, Bama Hut, for the $5 Australian. Here's for a shot. So yeah, that's just a beer shot, but I do appreciate it, man. Since I haven't even touched it. That's a Red's apple. Ooh, that's not. No. That's not enough. There we go. Cheers. So their buffet is really good. Well, we're probably gonna have the buffet a couple times at Excalibur for either breakfast or lunch, but I haven't really decided what we're doing all for food. I have a whole list of places that I know where you can eat cheap or where you spend the money and it's actually worth spending the money. You know, kind of depends on how the budgets go day by day. But thank you so much for the super chat. Went to Vegas once on a family vacation. I was 17. My parents left me and my siblings at the B&B to go to a strip club, and they were so drunk they were honest about it. That's awesome. My parents, when I was a kid, they took me. I was I think it was our final family vacation before obviously I went to graduate high school. So I was like 15 or 16, and my parents got in trouble because on the way to the hotel room, they put a 5 in a slot machine, and they said, "Hey Nate, hit it. Just hit the slot. If you win, we'll split the money with you 50-50. Well, they'd have to claim it, of course. But, if I would have hit, whatever. I think they were, I think they just wanted me to have, like, I'm 15, 16. I know what casinos are at this point. I just, never been to one. I think they just wanted to be like, hey, we're in Vegas. Give you that one hit on the slot. See what happens. And my parents we almost got kicked out of the fucking hotel for them doing that. Because not old enough to be doing it. They almost got kicked out, but they talked their way out of it. The big thing I remember when on that trip to Vegas, we did a lot of fun things. Like you can walk around the Hotel Excalibur as a teenager and be fine. There's things to do at the resort. But like my parents left me and my sister, who is 5 years younger than me, at the hotel. They went and got us like these strawberry non-alcoholic daiquiris. They got us like 3 of them each. In these shiny Excalibur cups, I don't know how much they were. They're probably like $25 each. I don't even remember. And they just said, "Oh yeah, we're gonna go gamble now or whatever. You guys just stay in the room. You guys can rent a movie if you want or whatever." Okay, cool. Because they never let us rent movies at the hotel, so it's like, okay, cool, we can rent a movie or whatever. and order some pizza. And so that was all fine. But then my parents came back and they were just hammered. And I have no idea what they did. Did they go to the club? Maybe they ended up going to the club. I have no idea. They had a good time. That's all I know for sure. They still to this day haven't told me exactly what they did. I came in and all I heard was talk about emotions and feelings. Okay. Well, we are people that have emotions and feelings. I'm not a robot. Circus Delay. I've seen them once. I've seen Blue Man Group as well. Never seen Penn and Teller. They're performing right now. There's a comedy. A comedian I was thinking of seeing, but we'll see. I think Eddie Griffin. I've always wanted to see him. One of his stand-ups, like in person, and I think he's performing next week. So I thought about going to that like on Wednesday, but we'll see. Have I had woodchuck cider? I don't think so. I had to send that for a quick shot as no one sent. Yeah, I mean it's obviously a light night. We're not getting too many super chats tonight, and that's all right. That's all right. We can get 0 super chats. The show still goes on. Circus wasn't bad for like the, yeah. Circus wasn't really. My parents took me to that. I think when I was a little kid, or when I was a teenager. I didn't think it was that great, but my sister loved it. So it's one of those, you know. Do I think a Metal Gear Solid remake is true? Maybe. I have no idea. Have I heard the rumor that Oracle remakes are going to be released? Yep, we talked about it today on the stream. I already talked about it on the stream. Thank you for subscribing, 88 Andy. I appreciate you subscribing to the channel. Good luck on winning the Switch OLED. Hope that's not the only reason you subscribe, but if it is, hey, good luck. And if it's not, and you subscribe because I'm awesome, cool. Good luck, man. Let's have some fun around here. Heck yeah, Penn and Teller. See, so we thought about going, because Penn and Teller is performing next week, so we thought about going to their show. Yulia's not really that into magic shows, but I am. But I think she'd enjoy it, so it's one of those. We'll see what happens. We might end up going. We'll see. You're all right, John Delmore. How's it going? How's it going? Hopefully it's going well tonight. The gambling laws are very strict. And so, Natsu, the reason they get upset, the casino themselves might not care at all that your kid hit the machine once. You know, you're getting close to the age to gamble, but you're not quite there, like I was. So like you hit the machine once and with your parent right there. You know, I don't know that they care that you did that. It's more so they can lose their license. And the laws around it are very strict in Vegas. So if that footage was seen by a police officer or something, right, of that kid, me, hitting that machine, the whole casino could lose its license for allowing it to happen. If they don't do anything about it, that is. If they just let it go. So, like, they have to be strict. Because they lose their license, they lose shitloads of money. So, like, they got to do it. Jace Bentley says, Fear the Deer! Congrats, Nate! Bucks in 6. Bucks in 6. Prophecy fulfilled. Brandon Jennings, baby. 50 piece out of Giannis to close her out. Woo! Possibly the best closeout game in finals history. Possibly one of the best finals in finals history. Nobody has ever averaged 35 with 10 plus boards, 5 plus assists on 60 plus % shooting in the finals. It's never happened in the history of the game until Giannis just did it. Hell yeah. The comedy's amazing. Yeah. What do you think of the canceled Zelda game developed by Retro Studios? That Sheik game. I am skeptical. So I've been debating on making a video on it because there's this concept art that released with it, and I've been trying really hard to get this concept art verified, because if the concept art gets verified, great, we have an amazing story to talk about. But without it being verified, the source seems pretty random right now. So I'm not so sure I even believe this is a thing. I need to make sure that the art that came with it wasn't some fan art jacked from someplace. And I can't get it confirmed at this point. So until I can get this art confirmed, I don't really want to talk about it. Does that kind of make sense? Like, it feels like a made-up story that we're all just getting fooled on. When will the Brewers win the World Series? Probably never in my lifetime. I mean, they're good this year, but still. I just want them to get to the World Series. They've gotten close like once in my life. I just want them to get there, and I'll be happy, but it would be cool for them to win it. Might apply for a dealer's internship when they open. Yeah, like there's some like if you go to a casino, like, you know, if you care, if you like slots, it's okay to like slots. You know, if you're able to not get addicted and control your money and play slots at a casino, that's fine. Slots can be fun, but they're also like your lowest chance to win, right? If you actually care about winning, you're going to be doing the roulette tables. You're going to be doing blackjack, poker, etc. That's the kind of stuff you're going to be doing at the casino if you actually want to have the best shot to win, because there's actually some skill involved. Not so much in roulette, although there is percentages and different ways you can bet in roulette that can help you out. Different betting styles. One style in particular, you'll always technically come ahead as long as it's an unlimited table and you basically have at least 10K on you and you're smart with your bets. You can always come ahead. But I mean, who's got 10K on them to play that way unless you're rich? But yeah, a lot of people like playing blackjack, you know, poker, all that stuff. It's good times. How bad do I want Prime Trilogy for Switch? I saw your video about it being done and Nintendo sitting on it. It's going to come. We just won't hear anything until the Dread release. I don't think we're going to hear anything until they're ready to show Metroid Prime 4. Forget Dread. You can't talk about Metroid Prime Trilogy before you're showing off Metroid Prime 4. That's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for them to be ready to show off Metroid Prime 4. Dread, I don't think has anything to do with it. So Gamerlab, I heard the Sheikah game was in the Giga Leak, but I haven't gotten, so the file it was in, I haven't actually seen it translated. I want to see that file translated. Right now, it's just a person on Twitter telling me, oh yeah, this is what it says in the Giga Leak. Okay. Can someone actually look at the file and give me an official translation? Because it feels like we know a bunch of information about this game. And like the art that came from it doesn't seem like it's associated with the Giga Leak. I don't know. I'm very skeptical at the moment, so we'll wait and see. I'm waiting to see. I have a couple people digging into it for me, and once they get back to me with their what they find on it, you know, I'll probably make a video. You know me, I love Zelda, so I'll probably make a standalone video on it when the time is right, or we'll talk about it in a stream. We'll do a dedicated stream to it. You know, we'll see. So I'm kind of leaving it alone until they get back to me on that. Again, I haven't had a lot of time lately, so I don't know where the Earthbound 64 footage came from. I haven't even seen the footage yet. I know what's out there though. You have the card count on Blackjack? Yeah, well, because it's not illegal to count cards. It's not. You can win at Blackjack pretty much all the time if you count cards. You could do it all on your own and win. It's easier if you increase your chances of winning, how much you're going to win if you have a 2-3 people playing different tables and figuring out the hot table when it's going to hit. But yeah, like card counting is not illegal. It's just casinos obviously don't want you to do it because you're stacking the deck in your favor, and they don't like that, so they can kick you out for it. But it's not against the law, so it's just one of those. I've done it. I've done it to great success. People think card counting is complicated. The full math behind card counting can get a little bit complex, but you can break it down for anyone. There's a very simple way to break down card counting in blackjack. Very simple way to break it down. That pretty much anyone can do, as long as they have good short-term memory. If they have a really bad short-term memory, just be the Rain Man and you win every hand of poker. Did they release a 4K Switch at the end of its lifespan? I have no idea. Just wondering, is this rumor that Falling Guy is coming? No. You mean Fall Guy? I have no. So what happens when they suspect you of card counting? So I have been kicked out of a casino for card counting. When they suspect you of card counting, they don't really care what you say. They're looking for tells. So they look for patterns and tells. And what'll happen is, even if you don't have a tell, say you're doing it by yourself, so you don't have a tell, right? You're not like signaling, a high roller to come in and just sweep the table and take the casino's money. You're just doing it on your own, and that's fine. What'll happen is they're watching all these tables on camera, and they have people in the security room that are counting cards, and they're watching how you play, and they'll notice, hey, you're playing the card count. How can you play the card count if you're not counting cards? And that's how they get you. They do not give a shit what you say to them. You can deny it, say you're playing to the best of your ability, say whatever, they're going to kick you the fuck out. Because they don't care what you say. They can tell you're counting because they're counting. They're counting. Not the dealer's not counting. They're counting. Behind the scenes on the security cameras, they're counting. So they can tell how you're playing. And if you're playing the count, now, will they ban you? Getting kicked out is not the same as being banned. Sometimes what'll happen is you'll get kicked out. But what they ban you from, and at one casino I am banned. I'm not banned from the casino. I'm banned from the tables. So they'll let me come in and play slots. They don't care if I play slots. Not allowed to sit down at the tables. And I thought they were full of shit. So I waited like a year. And then I went in and sat down at the table about to play. And then security came out and said, yeah, you're not allowed to play this game. And I was like, oh, okay. So, yeah. I don't card count very often, but I used to do it a lot more when I was younger. Thought I was all slick and cool and everything, trying to, make a quick buck off the casino. Yeah, Fall Guys, we already know Fall Guys is coming. I was confused when he was calling it Falling Guy or whatever. I was like, is that a different game? Fall Guys was already announced. We're getting that game. You guys got any other questions? You guys got any questions? Well, it's not like I ever feel guilty about card counting and taking money from the casino. They're making plenty of money. As for, am I going to go card count in Vegas? Probably not. I probably won't even play cards when I'm in Vegas. I'll probably just do a few slots. We're probably only gonna, Yulia has been playing this casino game on her phone for years and years and years, and she has like $200 in free play at our hotel that she can use. So like, you know, we'll use that and maybe another couple hundred, and then we'll just leave it at that. We're just gonna probably do shows and relax and enjoy the strip. She's never been to Vegas, so there's like for her. See, I've done a lot of stuff in Vegas. She hasn't, so for her, everything's like a new experience. Like I want to take her out to a nightclub. She's been wanting to go clubbing since the day I met her. I met her when she was 21. She's always wanted to go to a club, and she's never done it. Never gone to a nightclub ever, because we don't really have them around us. Well, I have. What better nightclubs are to go to than in Vegas, baby? Yeah. So, Yulia doesn't know how to card count. I could teach her, but she doesn't know how to do it. She thinks it's too complicated. I'm like, it's really not. If I go into all the nitty-gritty math behind it, it'll sound complicated, but it's not. The basic of keeping the count and knowing when to hit, when to bet, etc., when to split, all like it's really basic. You can really break it down it's just plus and minus, plus one minus one, plus one minus one. It's very easy to do, but it's keeping track of it that can sometimes be hard for some people, because they'll lose the count. When you lose the count, it could take a while to get it back to an accurate count. What are your thoughts on YouTube removing unlisted videos tomorrow for security reasons? What? Is that a thing? YouTube removing unlisted. Wait, what is this? Hold on. Update to older unlisted. Okay. Because I was going to say, if they're just going to start getting rid of unlisted, that sucks. Because I know there's people that will do unlisted videos. One for classrooms. Like all my college videos are all that are on YouTube, and they're all unlisted videos. So there's that case. There's also unlisted videos people have like Patreon, that people pay on Patreon and they want like access to things. Here's an unlisted video so you can watch it, so they don't have to use a separate platform. As a reminder, unlisted videos and playlists can be seen and shared by anyone with the link. Unlisted videos. Okay, what is happening? Starting July 23rd, 2021, older unlisted videos will be made private. Oh, they're not deleting them. Oh, no, this isn't that bad. So here's what they're doing. I don't know why they're doing it, but here's what they're doing. So older unlisted videos will be made private. They're not deleting them. They're just privating them, so you can still go back and make them unlisted. Unless you opt out of this change. So you can even opt out of it. So any videos that are uploaded before January 1st, 2017 that are unlisted will be automatically changed to private as of July 23rd, 2021, unless you opt out from this change. So yeah, they're not deleting anything. They're not getting rid of them. And you can opt out. And they even provide a link to click to opt out. So I think it's like a non-story. Literally just go and opt out. If you're someone who does unlisted videos, just go opt out. They're not getting rid of them. That's a non-story. The way you said it made me feel like, oh wait, that's not good. That's not what they're doing though. So keep $10 in video poker at the bar and drink all night for free. So so as I said, she's got $200 in free play. I've been playing some of these free casino games on my phone just to like get coins. And I've got like almost 100,000, and like I get a bunch of buy one get one drinks at my casino or at our local thing. So like I could sit down and just play video poker, and like and then just drink if I want. But the thing is, we're not just like, as I said, we're gonna gamble, but we're not really going to gamble. We're going to do it, but we're gonna have we're doing well, as I said, we're gonna do the Tournament of Kings because I want her to experience it. I think she's going to really enjoy it. Probably going to a comedy show. And then we'll see. I'm going to try to convince her to go to Penn and Teller. I think she's going to really enjoy it. And I'm trying to convince her like now because this is like coming up. Like you want to get the tickets now before they're sold out because then they're more expensive on the secondhand market. What about the channels that has owners that don't go to opt out because they're gone? Well, they're not deleting the videos. They're just making them private. If the owners aren't around anymore, here's the thing. This is the way I've always felt about YouTube content. So, let's say there's like a quote unquote dead channel. So it's basically, hey, the guy who made the channel isn't around anymore. Bunch of unlisted videos. They're about to go private, so no one can see those videos but him. Does it matter? In my mind, it doesn't, because the person who owns those videos is responsible for those videos. So if that person is no longer around, oh well. Bottom line is those videos aren't being discovered anymore. Like, can you tell me one unlisted video from a dead account that matters? I think this is just a lot to do about nothing, personally. Yeah, it should be fun. Well, it's funny too because like my parents are like, man, it's gonna be so hot next week. There's gonna be 115. I'm like, well, not according to my thing. My weather.com in Vegas next week does not have it. Let's see, Vegas. Tops out at 104. And no humidity. I don't know. I think we'll be fine. But yeah, we're gonna be chilling at the pool. You know, we're there for a week, so it's gonna be fun. We're gonna have a good time. Class videos. So you mean like videos for college? Why would those matter? If the video that if the thing that has videos for classes, this is just my take, and so I'm in college, right? And we get linked to YouTube videos all the time for tutorials and how to do things and for teaching lessons because I do online college. And if the person who runs that account no longer, is around and those videos go private, okay. And, oh no, the person who teaches the class might actually have to teach the class. Like, that's my, like, it's weird. Like, one of my classes I had last year, I had this professor, and all of the videos for all of our lessons were from the former professor on YouTube. He didn't even bother to re-record videos in his teaching style for us. He just used the videos made by the prior professor. So it gets really confusing. And the videos were all 7 years old. Basically meaning the teacher of my class wasn't teaching us. So, like, to me, why would I feel bad that the teachers have to teach? That's what they're paid for. I'm paying all this money to the school. Oh no, they can't rely on old videos anymore. They have to actually teach. I don't think it's that big a deal. TotalBiscuit matters. Yeah, but his stuff's not his. TotalBiscuit doesn't have unlisted. And I thought his channel was still. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure his wife took over the channel, didn't he? Maybe I'm wrong. I haven't watched, obviously. I don't really pay any attention, but I swore they were still putting videos up there. But maybe I'm wrong. No, I guess not. I guess they did stop. They must have moved it because I thought the wife was going to continue the podcast. But I guess she decided not to do it. Unless they're all unlisted. Maybe that's what you mean. Maybe she still does it, but they're all unlisted after the fact. Like if they still do, yeah, I don't know. But like all his content, yeah, I thought was public. So Oh yeah, low. Yeah, dude. We have 80 plus humidity here in Wisconsin all summer. So like, it ends up feeling cooler in Vegas than it does in Wisconsin, and that sounds crazy, but it just does. I've been to Vegas multiple times. It always feels cooler in Vegas than it. I sweat pretty much not at all in Vegas because I'm never hot enough to. But here, God, I'm sweating right now. So damn humid. Did I see Dying Light coming to Switch? I didn't think it was going to come to Switch, but it's cool that it is, you know? Like, I'm not complaining that it's coming. It's good. It's good that it's coming. I gotta text someone quick. Great Lakes and humidity are crazy. I mean, it's worse than like, you know, down by the equator. Get to Florida, Bahamas, Hawaii. Way worse. But like, yeah, we get quite a bit of humidity here in Wisconsin. Michigan does too, obviously. Lots and lots of humidity. 100 likes! Hey, we did it! Yeah, like, because I've been to Vegas in 115, 120 degree weather, and like, yeah, it's hot. It just doesn't feel hot, you know? Like, the only thing that feels hot is when you take your shoes off and then you put your bare feet like on the sidewalk or whatever. Okay, yeah. Like that feels hot. But the air doesn't, right? So like, sure, as long as you're wearing sandals or tennis shoes walking around, like, you know, I just don't think it's that bad. Every time I go there, people like, I think there's this perception of Wisconsin when you go to these hot desert places, you know, or even like, you know, hot more tropical places, you know, like down in Miami or whatever, or like you go there and people are always like, oh, you're from Wisconsin. This must be so hot for you. And it's like, what do you think Wisconsin is? Do you think it's like, you know, north of the wall in Game of Thrones? Is that what you think Wisconsin's like all the time? Like, just because we have winter with snow doesn't mean we don't have hot, sticky, sweaty, humid as hell summers. Because we do. Wisconsin gets all 4 seasons, not just one. And I feel like the perception of Wisconsin around most of the country is that it's just snow all the time. It's just cold, yucky, windy snow all the time. And like, so you go to these places where like, man, you must be so hot. And I'm like, what do you mean? We have days like this in Wisconsin all the time. Like, this isn't okay. I'm now at the mold arc fight. Oh, in Skyward Sword HD. Any tips? First time getting this far and I'm having trouble. Really? Are you using motion controls or are you using the button controls? Yeah, hurricanes though. Yeah, one nice thing about Wisconsin is we don't have to worry about hurricanes. But people think Wisconsin's and even Canada's not like, yeah, the way northern parts of Canada, but like where people actually live, like Toronto and all, like, dude, Canada has summer too. Now they might not get, you know, I don't know if they get the 90, I mean, we top 100 here sometimes in Wisconsin. I don't know if they get that. Maybe they do. But I don't think they get humidity and everything else, too. They have hot summers. I don't know how long they are, though. You know, obviously, the further north you get, the shorter the summers should be. Have hurricanes, yeah. I mean, that's one thing. I don't know if I could ever live. I don't know if I'd ever be okay. I don't know how people in Florida especially do it. Dude. Like, I feel like they get like multiple hurricanes a year. I don't know how they do it. I just don't know how. I couldn't live in that. I couldn't, having to always like evacuate and basically have to have a second home somewhere else, and like I don't know if I could do that. Do I like snow? You've never seen it? Yeah. Big thing is, not a lot of people don't like cold. Okay, so a big thing about snow is you have to enjoy cold. Now there's enjoying cold, and then there's too cold for too cold. Like if you get a day where it's like 5 degrees out, 5 degrees Fahrenheit, but -30 wind chill, nobody likes that. But you know, that's not what a lot of the winter is. A lot of the winter sits, you know, in the 20s, 30s, and like we have snow. Dude, there's so much, like sledding is so much fun. Even still today as an adult, sledding is fun. Tubing as well, which is basically another form of sledding but better. Snowmobiling's awesome. Skiing and snowboarding. You know, cross country skiing, downhill skiing. There's so much. Ice fishing can even be enjoyable. Like there's just so much fun that you can only get with actual snow in a real winter like that. That's awesome. There's downsides to it, of course. Shoveling snow sucks. Nobody likes it, but it is what it is. And yeah, you could say that the roads are more dangerous, obviously, to drive on. Now, when you live in it, it doesn't really feel that dangerous because you're used to it and you know how to drive in it and you know not to be an idiot. But you'll get people who don't drive in it ever that visit up here, like for Christmas, and they're just flying off the road because they have no idea what they're doing because they've never seen snow in their life. You know? Bucks in six. Bucks in six. And now me, personally, I like cold. So, fun tip. We keep our house at 65 degrees during the summer. It could be 90 out, it doesn't matter. Our house is at 65 degrees. Why? I can't sleep if I'm even a tinge warm. I just can't sleep. Can't do it. I'll start sweating. I can't do it. Gotta be cold. So it's gotta be like 65 in the house, and I have to have a fan blowing at me. Well, but black ice is real. Yeah, that's just water that's been frozen. Yeah, black ice is real. But again, like I live in Wisconsin, I'm used to these conditions. It doesn't even faze me. So yeah, people are always like, "Wow, like yeah, I like it cold." Now that's just when I sleep. During the day, if it's a dry heat, I'm fine. The humid heat, I mean, I'm only gonna be outside in humid heat if I'm swimming. Otherwise, like I just don't like it. So I'd probably do better in a place like Nevada where I can like, you know, AC my house at whatever temperature I want for night, and then yeah, enjoy the heat because I actually don't mind heat when there's no humidity. So like living in a place like Vegas, you know, Texas, etc., will probably be all right for me. $70 for you? Yeah, a lot of people around here just do 70. They just set their thermostats to 70 and they just keep it that way. Which is fine. 70 is not bad. It's just, I don't know. My body's like a furnace. It just is. Like even now, I'm sitting here and like literally, you know, it's 65 in my house, but because of the lights and everything, I'm sweating a little bit. Just a smidge. It's not so bad you're seeing that like pouring off my face or anything. You know, I'm just sitting here drinking water. It's just, you know, it's just my life. Do you have to ever have to change? I don't chain tires. There are people who do chain tires. I don't think our winters are bad enough to need to chain tires very often. I've never done it myself. I do know some people who have during some really bad winters, but I've never done it. As for warming up the car, yeah, sure. It's actually against the law to do that. It's so funny. It's actually against the law to warm your car up. It's so dumb. Everybody does it though. But yeah, my car has an automatic starter. Like, so on my keychain, I double click a button and my car will start. It'll stay locked and it'll start. So yeah, we'll warm our car up in the winter. We don't do it as much with our new one though. So we've had our new car for the last year, Dodge Durango Citadel 2013, fully loaded. We've had it for a year, and we don't actually warm the car up that often in that one. One, we don't have to warm up for the windshield to get ice off it because we park it in a garage. Two, it's got heated seats, and the heater in it is awesome. Like, it just kicks in like that. You don't have to, like in a lot of cars when it's really cold out, you have to drive around a bit and the engine has to warm up. So then the air can warm up. Not in this car. Literally, it'll be instant heat, like as soon as you crank the heat. So, you end up not needing to warm this car up. That is basically what I'm trying to say. Plus, the heated seats are awesome. We also have air-conditioned seats as well, which I'm loving a lot on these hot summer days. You hit the little button, get the cool breeze blowing up your ass crack. It's nice. When you live where it snows, until I lived here, I did not have a garage. Every place I have lived as an adult in Wisconsin did not have a garage. I had my car parked outside every winter. Until we got this house. This is the first time I've had a garage since I was a kid. As an adult, first time I've had my own garage. Always had my car, even at my parents' house. My parents' cars were in the garage. Mine was outside. Always had my cars outside. Always. Scraping ice off all the time. Always had my cars outside. Until now. How can they enforce that law for warming up a car? Cop drives by, sees a car is turned on, sees nobody's in it, writes you a ticket. That's not that hard. And when you get the ticket, it takes points off your license. It can lead to your license being suspended. They're pretty lenient. They'll be lenient about it on like the really nasty days. So when it's like, when we have one of those days where it's already negative without wind chill, and then with wind chill, it's like -50, which, by the way, I know that sounds insane. It doesn't really happen that often. But the rarity that it does happen, the cops are really lenient on those days because then because at that point you're worrying about frostbite. So people, if they have to travel, the cops are a bit more lenient during those times to be like, yeah, well, there's kind of a human safety element in here where, like, yeah, your car's got to be warmed up before you go, or, you might get frostbite, and that's not okay. But we don't actually get those kind of days very often. I remember going to a Green Bay Packer Atlanta Falcon playoff game once. That was that way. It was -50 out. God, it was a lot of fun though. You'd be like in the stands and you buy a beer and they hand you the beer and basically you've got 30 seconds to drink your beer before it freezes. And alcohol is not supposed to freeze, but it was Miller Lite, so it's a lot more watered down, so it can technically freeze. And I just like, you just gotta chug it. You just get the beer and chug. Get up an hour early just to scrape snow sucks, but it does happen. Yeah, can happen. Again, not here. Biggest thing is obviously if we have a heavy snowfall, I got to get up an hour early just to shovel the driveway. Sometimes more than an hour. It really depends. If it's like, so if you had like say we got a foot of snow, which is a lot. We don't usually get a foot at once, but let's say we got a foot of snow, and then at the beginning of that snow, it melted a little bit. So it was like kind of in between freezing, so it melted a little. So you have 12 inches, but the first 6 inches are like this really heavy, wet snow. And you have the 6 inches of fluffy snow. That heavy, wet snow is a bitch to shovel. You literally go, you shovel, you push it like a couple feet forward, and you go to lift it up the shovel and to throw it into the yard. And like when you lift it up, it's like you're lifting 150 pounds. It's insane how heavy that snow gets. It's so heavy. That's not even counting, like, you'll be all done with that. And then later in the day, the plow will finally come to plow the road. And then they'll plow a freaking, 3-foot tall wet snow wall at the bottom of your freaking driveway. And then you got to shovel that out. And that, you thought it was bad before. Now it's worse. Oh, man. Those are never fun. Now, a lot of people in Wisconsin end up having snow blowers, or they have vehicles where they can attach plows to the front. But not, I would say most people don't have it. Most people just shovel. But a lot of people do have snow blowers or something like that. We don't happen to have one. We do shovel work. But the snowball includes your car. Yeah, dude. That's the way it used to be at my parents' house when I lived there as a teenager. It'd be like, nope, my car is plowed in. Literally, the walls enveloping my car. That's great. I've had to get pissed and drive over the wall. Now, our car we have now, with our 4-wheel drive, and all, like we can usually get through it now. With my little Honda, I drove a little 2000 Honda Civic, up until last year. I drove that thing for like 12 years. Man, dude. Man. I would try plowing through so many of those dang walls and just couldn't get through. I love that Honda Civic though, man. It was a stick shift. It was so fun. Dude, stick shifts are just fun to drive. Better gas, way better gas mileage than automatics. Not even close. God, stick shifts are fun. And as I discovered, driving automatics and sticks, I actually have more control. So we have a 4-wheel drive automatic. Basically a giant SUV right now, which is nice. And you would feel like it's safer to drive. I can't feel the road as well. So when I drove in my little Honda, I could feel when I'm slipping. I didn't need something to tell me I could feel I was slipping. I wasn't relying on instruments. I could feel everything happening on that road. And you just had so much more control. Like if you're going up an icy hill, sometimes you want to downshift. You don't want to be hitting that hill and drive in 3rd gear. You want to be in 1st. Sometimes, for grip reasons, you'll want to shift up in the 4th or 5th gear when you're only going 20 miles an hour. And yeah, that's not good on your transmission, but guess what? It gives you the best traction in the moment, especially when you're slipping. There's all these things you just can't do with automatic cars. It sucks. So like there was I've never gotten in an accident ever in that Honda. Ever. In the winter. Just doesn't happen. So much control. Have to pay a lot more. You don't though. You don't. So here's the thing. You think that when you're learning how to drive stick, I got to pay so much attention to the clutch. And yeah, it takes a little bit to get used to driving a stick. Once you've been driving, like I said, 12 straight years. I didn't know how to drive stick until that car. 12 years I drove that car. You don't even think about it. It's all second nature. You don't even think about it. And in the winter, you learn after driving a couple of winters with the stick shift, what are the gears to be in during certain moments. Like, you literally don't think about it. It's all second nature. It's all second nature. Not even something you worry about. Left foot handles the clutch, right foot's still gas and brake like it always is. Just now your left foot's there when you shift gears. It's don't even think about it. It's just fun. Lots of control. But not very many stick shift cars are made anymore. I don't know if I'll ever own a stick shift car again. I want one. Like, I want to buy a Dodge Charger, but I want one that's stick shift, and they don't make them stick shift anymore. So I have to get an older one. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Automatics just slip a lot more on ice. Manual transmission's easy. You learn it in a day. That's good. That's good. Manual transmission isn't hard. Um, the hard things about, like, if you're used to, if you've only ever driven automatic and you have a manual transmission, there's just a few things that you just don't know what to really do until you experience it. So as an example, if you're in like a parking ramp, I mean, this is true on a hill too, but if you're on a parking ramp, you know, and you're like this and it's busy and you're stuck, you know, not a big deal when you're in an automatic car, right? Hold your foot on the brake and go tap the gas and go. Well, that's not true when you're in a manual shift. It's actually a lot more likely you're going to roll back a smidge, that you're going to roll back, you know, 6 inches before you end up going forward again. It's very hard to prevent that smidge or rollback when you stop and start all the time. And when you have people going bumper to bumper with you, you got to be on top of it. And there's a high chance that the first time you experience it, if you're in that situation, you might end up bumper tapping someone. You don't mean to, it just happens. And that is something that is more difficult to manage in a manual shift car. There's also parking on an incline. You got to remember to use your e-brake. When you drive an automatic, you don't even think about e-brake, right? You don't worry about it. You don't think about putting your parking brake on. You just put your car into park and call it good, right? Put in park, good. Can't do that. Can't do that in a manual shift car. Got to use your e-brake. And you also got to use. There's also times in winter driving where you might pull up that e-brake. I pulled an e-brake 2 winters ago because there was a really icy intersection out by the hospital, and it took me a little bit to get going, but then I was fine, and I was going to get through it. You know, I had the green light. There was hardly any traffic. Well, there was someone coming from the other direction, and I'm glancing at them, and I realize they're going way too fast. They're not going to be able to stop. And they're about to fly through this intersection at 45 and T-bone me. And I have my kids in the car. And I'm like, this is not good. This is not good. So I overshifted to fourth gear to get some grip so I could get going a little bit. I knew I wasn't going to be able to get out of the way. So then what I did is I got going a little bit, got my tires spinning, shifted to that gear, cranked my wheel, slammed on the e-brake while you know, grab the parking brake or whatever, pulled that bad sucker up while slamming on the pedal and twisting my wheel, causing my car to spin out, and I spun out away from where that car came. And sure enough, he blew right by, and he probably missed me by like that much. And in that moment, I could not do that with an automatic car. I would have been fucked with an automatic car. T-bone, no problem. Only avoided that accident because of what I can do in a manual shift car. But that's also a thing, like, you have to learn how to do that. It's not like I couldn't guarantee it was going to work, but I've done it before in other situations. So it's like there's just these little quirks and things where the base of just shifting gears and driving isn't a problem. But there's certain situations that are just different than a normal car. When's the next podcast episode? Next podcast episode is August 4th. Yeah. An automatic, like, it's not that you, as they say, whip a shitty, you know, do a donuts or whatever. You can do that with automatic cars. It's just a lot harder at such low speeds to pull that off and get that tail whip on an automatic. It's really hard. You just have way, manual shift cars have way more control. And if you ever want proof of this, and there are people who always doubt it, why do you think all the race cars are manual shift? Because you have more control. It's easier to control speeds, easier to control gears, different situations for different things. You have more control over your car on the road with a manual shift car versus automatic. But people don't like to think when they drive. And there are certain situations that even as you get used to manual shift and you don't think about it, situations like I just explained, you had to think. It's not like my automated response in that moment was, "Oh yeah, let me try to do a tail whip and get the fuck out of the way." No, I saw that it was going to happen, and I'm like, "Okay, let me feel the road for half a second. I know what I got to do." And if it didn't work, my kids die. So it's one of those situations where, I mean, I might be dead too, to be honest. We'd all be dead. So it's like, I either do this and it works, or I do nothing and we die. Or I do this and it doesn't work, or it works partially and not all of us die or something. Like, it was a scary situation because there are people, that's the one thing about winter driving, there's just people that are just idiots sometimes. But yeah, dude, I love manual shift. I love it. It's so fun to drive. So much control. You learn how to drive in the mountains of Vermont? Yeah. I mean, you learn how to drive mountains of Vermont, then you won't have any problem with the inclines and all that shit. Obviously. I didn't learn how to drive it in that. I learned like in a parking lot. So. But I don't have any problem with it now. You know, her parents have a really old Corvette that's manual shift that I take out every once in a while. It's like a collector's car. The problem is that one's not fun to drive. It just does not shift very well. See, I don't like cars that don't shift very well. I mean, you can still do it. It's just, it takes the fun out of it when you're fighting with it to make it shift gears. It's like, I know it's a classic car. I know it probably needs some work, but it's like, man, I hate having, like, I'm really, really fighting with you to get you into second gear. Really fighting to get you into reverse. Like, I don't like when you have to fight with it because it just doesn't feel safe, you know? It's like, God, you shouldn't have to fight to get it to shift. But some of those old classic muscle cars, that's the way it is. You do have to fight with it. That's just how it worked. You had to fight with it. Oh, thanks anyway. I mean, this happened a couple years ago. Everything's fine, but yeah, dude, I miss it. But you know, the engine finally went on it. I had 350,000 miles on that car. You know, it is what it is. Could have put a new engine in it. Thought about it because I love that car, but I figure if I you know, I might decide to get. There are some brand new cars that are sold that you can get manual put in. Well, we'll see. I don't know if I'm ever gonna buy brand new anyways. So, but my dream car is a Dodge Charger, red with white stripes. I just want manual shift. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of idiots out there. See, I always tell people, you know, like my kids, you gotta buckle up for your safety. Well, are you a bad driver? Bad driver, good driver. I trust myself. I don't trust the other people on the road. You know, for the most part, it's fine. But every now and then, especially in the winter, you just get people who are idiots. You know, teenagers driving in their first ever winter. You know, going speed limit on a really super icy road. And thinking they're in a truck and they can just stop on a dime and it's no problem, and they can't. They're just, you know, it's just dumb. I'm fine. What's up, man? Still got $208. Hey, I still got $300 to pay on mine, so you're ahead of me. All right, well, I gotta go. I gotta tidy up a bit upstairs and then head to bed. Just saw what time it is. So thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you had fun. Giannis is a stud, dude. He's super humble, man. That's one thing I'm glad is like what came out of this championship run is that I think the world of NBA basketball fans finally got to know Giannis. Like you figure, oh, they got to know him after the MVPs. Not really. Not really. Not like this. Like I knew all this stuff about Giannis already. I knew all humble, but like he's my guy, he's my team. Of course I pay attention. The whole world wasn't. Like all the national media that thought that Giannis was gonna leave. It's like, dude, you just don't know Giannis, man. You just don't know him. That's not who he is. But all right, guys, have a good night. Catch you tomorrow. We have our final stream for the month of July tomorrow, so hope to see you guys there. Starting at 8 p.m.